Hi guys, welcome to another video. So this time, this is gonna be the first time ever that I am unboxing a smartphone on this channel, and the smartphone of choice is the TECNO Phantom A6s. So I have a bit of a problem with TECNO, because at first when I read online I saw Phantom 6, then later Phantom 6s, then later from Safaricom where I did the pre-order I had Phantom A6s. So I find that there's a lot of confusion with the naming. Is it Phantom 6? Is it 6s? Is it A6s? What's up? Anyway, so I pre-ordered this from Safaricom and it came with a ton of accessories. So when I bought this, it cost me 26,999 Kenyan shillings, so that's roughly 27,000. So we have, with that amount, I got the Phantom 6s, which I'm going to set aside. I also got this Oraimo Boom Nova speaker, which I'm going to set aside. And according to Safaricom, this is worth 4,500 Kenyan shillings, which I kind of doubt. I've listened to it already, it's a bit good, but this is not worth 4,500. We also got the TECNO T-Band. So what this is the first ever smart band produced by TECNO. So as you guys can already tell, TECNO are really outdoing themselves, and they're really trying to prove people who stereotyped them wrongly that they actually are capable of producing good, high quality, high-end products. I also got this selfie stick. It's a TECNO selfie stick, that's all I know about it. So I'm gonna look at it, review it, make a video about it, and show it to you guys in a future date. So at 27,000, I managed to get all of this stuff. So this shows that you guys should also learn to trust and learn to take chances in pre-orders. Because what a pre-order basically means is you pay for something before it actually comes out. So you pay for this, but then I paid for this and I got it around 1.5 weeks later. But all these parts came with it. And now if you go to a Safaricom shop, you will pay the same 27,000, but you will only get the phone. Yeah, so next time there's a pre-order on something and you are out there looking for a new phone, I really highly recommend that you consider the pre-orders, because they come with a ton of accessories. Yeah, because all of this is definitely worth well over 30,000 Kenyan shillings, and if I decided to resell all of this, I'll definitely end up making a profit, although I don't plan to sell any of them. If any, I might end up giving out some of these on the channel. So for now, we are gonna look at the Phantom 6s, unbox it and see what's inside the box. So before we unbox it, I want to quickly take a look at the packaging. This is the same packaging I expect an iPhone to come in. This is the same packaging I expect a HTC to come in, a Motorola, a Nexus, even the Pixel to come in. So as far as packaging goes, TECNO, you guys did a terrific, awesome job. This is very good. When I hold this packaging, I feel like I am holding a high-end smartphone device. So a question came up: what is a high-end, what is a mid-range, and what is a budget smartphone? Well, in the Western markets and here in the Nairobian perspective, I'd say it's a bit different. Judging from the consumerism or the smartphone purchasing patterns of Nairobians, maybe I would say any smartphone that costs 25,000 shillings and above is a high-end smartphone, is classified as high-end. Any smartphone costing between 15,000, let's say 10 to 15,000 and 25,000 is a mid-range smartphone. Anything below that is a budget smartphone. So right here, I'd say we're dealing with a high-end device. So without further ado, let's unbox these and then see exactly what it comes with. So guys, let's get on with this thing. I don't have something to open the box with, so I'm just gonna trust that my nails are long enough to do the job for me. Yeah, so see this reads Phantom 6s. So which is what I was saying was sort of confusing me at the beginning. Phantom 6, 6s, yeah. Okay. And now, for the moment of truth, I think this sort of slides to the side. It's supposed to first remove this. And this other side is nothing. So use this side to sort of slide it to the side. So you have that. And you have this other small section. I believe this section is what houses all the accessories that come with the phone, which I'm going to put to the side first. So here, this opens upwards, I think. So we're going to open this. And immediately we open it, we are greeted by the marvelous Phantom 6s, which I'm going to take out. Okay, this is not working for me. This is serious. Yay, it's out. Before we go further, first impressions is that this thing is super light. This thing is very light, and it seems to not have a unibody aluminium finish, but it's sort of partly aluminium with a couple of joints. We'll look at it. We'll look at it further in a second. So for now, I'm gonna put it aside, and we're gonna look at the accessories that come with the phone. This is my old Sony Xperia T2 Ultra, which unfortunately has to see my stores for a couple of weeks as I review the Phantom 6. So just quickly gonna open this, see what else comes in here. Okay, that's a couple of papers, warranties, and maybe manuals, which I'm gonna set aside. And that's it from this box. I'm gonna put this to the side completely. I'm gonna put this to the side. Take a look at this here. So I think it's absolutely impressive that this phone comes with this much accessories, as in a phone that comes with all these types of chargers, earphones, and a USB connector, because for those who don't know yet, the Phantom 6S uses USB Type-C, which is sort of the latest and greatest in USB technology. So I'm gonna quickly remove this case and put it to the side. It also comes with tempered glass screen protector, which is good. Tempered glass basically means when the phone falls down, the glass gets damaged, your phone's screen remains intact. The phone's AMOLED screen remains intact. Okay, I'm not gonna remove these earbuds for now. I'm just gonna put them aside. I don't really have very high expectations of this because I've used better earbuds, I believe, but I'm gonna put this aside for now. Take a look at these other accessories right here. We have the power brick. This is like the center main piece of the brick. I'm gonna put this aside. Then we have various connectors. This is I believe this is the EU type of connector. Then we have the British type of connector. I'm gonna put this aside as well. And then we have the USB cable. This is my friends, this is USB Type-C. So guys, my first impression of this is that this phone is very light. This phone is very light, and the build quality is definitely premium. This is definitely not a mid-range smartphone. So on this front panel right here, you can see that it's 6.15 millimeter thin, and I can attest that this phone is thinner than the Huawei P9. It has integrated dual back camera, and this camera is made by Sony. We'll go through the full specs later on, but I know this is 30 megapixels, this is 5 megapixels, and this is a dual tone flash. So this 5 megapixel camera is basically a depth of field detection camera, which means in that picture that you can see right now, I can choose to focus on the seat that's back there or this and leave the foreground, or I can choose to focus on the foreground and ignore the background. That's what depth of field means. It detects how far each material is relative to each other. Yeah, so it has a 83 degrees wide angle selfie. I'll delve into this during the full review that will come in a week or two. It has a 5.5 inch full HD AMOLED touchscreen. So full HD basically means it's 1920 by 1080 pixels, and the screen is AMOLED. AMOLED means color saturation is going to be very, very good. Basically, the colors will be very impressive to look at. And an AMOLED screen means that all black pixels, like when you're watching a movie and some sections of the screen are black, those pixels are going to be switched off, which basically means it's going to save a lot on power. AMOLED screens are what most of the Samsung flagship devices use. So this phone has a 2 GHz octa-core processor, 3 GB of RAM. I'll delve into this a bit more in just a few minutes, and it has Type-C Lightspeed charge, which is good to hear, which is good because Lightspeed charge basically means that it's going to charge from 0 to say 60-70% charge in around 5 to 10 minutes, which is super impressive. And as I told you guys earlier, USB Type-C is sort of the future of USB, so it's something to watch out for. If you can find a phone that has USB Type-C, it's definitely one that I would recommend. So on the side we have the power button right here, and you have the volume rocker, volume up and volume down. On the other side we have, I believe this is the SIM card tray up here. This is the SIM card tray, and this down here is where you put your expandable storage. It's really good to see that they included expandable storage, and I think you can expand it up to 128 gigabytes. The phone itself comes with 32 gigabytes and of course 3 gigabytes of RAM. So we have the two cameras as I told you, and the branding is at the back, and the branding is not so visible, which is, I guess, an okay thing. There is a headphone jack. Oh yes, there's a headphone jack. I thought maybe they might decide to go like the iPhone and remove the headphone jack. I don't think it's time yet to remove headphone jacks, but you guys tell me what are your thoughts on headphone jacks and whether they should be there or they shouldn't be there in the comments section down below. Yeah. So at the back side we have the speakers, and we have of course the USB-C port. So I am gonna remove this covering. Oh, that feels nice. So I'm gonna remove the one at the back. Yeah. This definitely feels premium, and this again definitely feels good to hold. So guys, we're gonna power it up and get a few first impressions. As far as specs goes, the TECNO Phantom 6S comes with up to 4G LTE network. The design is a nano molded metal body. So as I said, the back has some aluminium, and then the side is also aluminium. The back does feel a bit plasticky, but the side is aluminium. The battery is non-removable, and it comes with a 5.5-inch AMOLED display with 1080p AMOLED display with a screen resolution of 420 pixels per inch or PPI. So it has it's a dual SIM smartphone, so it comes with two SIMs, and they are both micro SIMs. It also comes with a memory card slot. It has the Android 6.0 Marshmallow operating system, which is skinned by TECNO's own HiOS system. The processor is a 2 GHz Helio X20 octa-core MediaTek chipset. So this basically means that the processor itself has 8 single cores, like 1 to 3 all the way to 8, but these cores don't always perform at the set speed of 2.0 gigahertz. So like of course 8, you'll find that maybe 3 cores perform at 2.0, the next 2 cores perform at maybe around 1.7, 1.6 gigahertz, and the remaining cores perform at maybe 1.2 to 1.3 gigahertz. This helps the phone to save on power, and also helps to allow the phone to direct more chipset intensive tasks to the chipsets that are running at higher clock speeds, and the less intensive tasks like picking a call or sending SMS messages to the slowest of the cores in the chipset. It uses the Mali T860 graphics processing unit, which basically means playing games like Asphalt etc should be a breeze. Of course, I'm gonna do a review, and during the time I'll use it, I'll install all of this stuff and be able to get a full picture of what it feels like to use this phone. It comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is definitely a good thing, 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and it has an SD card slot, meaning that I can choose to expand the storage all the way to 128 gigabytes. The rear camera, as I mentioned earlier, is a 13 megapixel autofocus, and there is a 5 megapixel camera as well. They are both Sony IMX cameras, and they have autofocus and they have a two-tone flash. The secondary 5 megapixel camera basically does detect the depth of field, which will enable the phone to be able to differentiate between items in the foreground and items in the background, and also enables you to choose to intentionally focus on items in the background. There is a very noticeable camera bump. I do not like camera bumps, but I will make an exception because this phone does look very good and very appealing. The front facing camera is a 8 megapixel shooter with a soft flash. The phone has a non-removable 2700 milliampere hour battery. This is one of the few things that has disappointed me in this phone. The battery is basically a step down from the previous Phantom 5's battery, and at 2700 milliampere hours, I feel this TECNO says that this will go 7 hours on heavy usage. I will definitely have to test that, but I'm already highly doubting that this will last. So USB-C is a good addition because basically means you're able to fill up the battery very, very fast. But if you're going on a trip for a couple of days, you want your phone to last as long as possible. So the 2700 milliampere hour battery is definitely a letdown, and I'm sure TECNO is gonna do better on the next phone that it releases, especially on their flagship devices. So as far as security features go, it has all of the normal swipe, pin and pattern security features, but it also supports an iris scanner 2.0, which means you can basically scan your eyes. Use the phone, use the front camera, scan your iris and unlock your phone that way, which is a very, very good addition. So what I got here as far as color goes is anthracite gray. Anthracite gray, that's like a thing, anthracite gray. But apart from this, I think the phone also comes in a gold colored variant. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this phone, make it my daily driver for the next week or two, and afterwards I'm going to make a full detailed review of my full thoughts on it. But as for now, this is a good phone to purchase, but I will be able to tell that for sure after I make the full review. That's it from me for today. Please tell me if you will buy this TECNO Phantom 6. Please tell me what features of this phone have impressed you the most and what features have let you down the most. Let's discuss all of this down in the comment section below, and as usual, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you can always get videos about technology from my Nairobian perspective. Thank you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.